Welcome again to Mississippi Memories. I'm Sydney Thaxton and thank you for joining us. Today we're going to watch a video from 1993 featuring some Mississippi crafts. We're going to see wood carving by George Berry and weaving by Lucy Burnside. And now, without further ado, 1993 Mississippi crafts.
I'd like to introduce you to George Berry, a wood carver from Piney Woods, Mississippi. George, I think generally would be classified as a folk wood carver because he carves in a style that he learned from his father and his older brother, and mostly carves animals and things that he was familiar with as a child, much like this beautiful owl that I'm holding is an excellent example of George's work.
Hi, I'm George Berry. I'm a wood carver. I live in Pearl, Mississippi. I'm originally from Oklahoma. I came to Mississippi in 1972. I've been showing with the crafts here in Mississippi ever since I've been here. I started out at the mall showing my work with part of Piney Woods School students during that time. I'm retired. I take an early retirement from Piney Wood back in '85 as a locksmith and a carpenter worker, and I used to teach industrial art. Now I only do my crafts. I do my wood carving and take on a few odd jobs at different times. I got started doing wood carving when I was about 7 years old. My dad used to be a carpenter and a woodworker. He didn't do any carvings of animals or anything. Mostly the things that I seen him do was making axe handle, pick handle, and things that you could work with. I remember him making a baseball bat for us to play with, and a wagon and so on. And he taught me at an early age how to use a knife. And from there, everything seemed to come natural. Now the things that I do, it's just seemed like that I'm supposed to do it. And this is one of the gifts that I guess the good Lord gave me. Well, I don't have to guess about it. I know that he gave it to me. And I have practiced and tried to do the best I could over the years, and as I go along, I just keep trying to do a better job each day, and each piece I work on. And as I got older, I began to carve more, and animals, I do a lot of animals, birds, and things, because these are the things that I have seen during my lifetime. I've grown up on the farm where we had cows, hogs, and rabbits. Rabbits wasn't in the yard too, but we would go out hunting them. And so I just seemed like I'd taken a love to making the animals. What really inspires me to do wood carving is one of the things that comes natural. It seems like something that I should be doing. That's the reason I know that it's a gift, because it's something that stays in my mind that I should be doing it. And it's the connection between me and people. When I'm carving, I'm usually thinking about something good. When I'm not carving, I'm thinking about wanting to carve because I know that this is going to tie me in with, well, what I say, the rest of the world, because I can sit down by myself if I'm out in the open somewhere and start carving on something, and within a few minutes I have people coming around, or someone's going to come around and stand and talk with me. So really, this keeps me going. It makes me feel like that I'm contributing something, that I've got something in common with other people, something that I can get out and I can meet people, where if I wasn't doing anything, well, if I wasn't doing carving, because there's a lot of other things I can get out there and do, and nobody else won't know what I'm doing. But when I'm carving, it seems like it draws people to me, and we become friends and become knowing each other. My advice to young people is that any craft or any kind of hobby that you love and like to do is to stick with it, to do the best you can, or to seek out different hobbies and craft. One reason is this is something that you can do yourself, something that you can put yourself into, something that you can do when you haven't got anything else to do. I tell a lot of young people as I go around to different places that I never wake up in the morning that I haven't got anything to do. It may not want to do what I'm doing right now, but I've got something to do. If I walk down the street, I'm not enticed by somebody else to come on and let's do what I want to do because I haven't got anything. I have got something to do. And when I see something out there that looks like it's going wrong, I can go back home and do what I want to do. And I can tell you the same thing. This is what you can do. If you develop a feeling for what you're doing, and God will bless you like he blessed me. We all got gifts and we've got talents. All we have to do is find them and work on them and do the best we can, and he will lead us into keep doing better and better. I was where I was born in what they call the White Oak Indian Hills, and we were the only black family that lived there in that area. And I learned how to walk on the stomping ground where the Indians had the stomping ground. They would take me out there and carry me around. They said that's the way I learned how to walk. So they sort of adopted me, and we was just always around them. I guess at that time we thought we was Indian too. So my dad's mother's supposed to be a full-blood Choctaw Indian, but that's something I don't dwell on with you. I'm who I am, and I like that, and I try to do things where that I hope other people are like that too. One of the things that I want to show you that I'm proud of, during the last year, in '92, the President of the United States declared this being the year of the craft. So the South Central Belt of Mississippi dedicated the cover of their book to the Craftsman Guild of Mississippi. I'm one of the oldest members in the Craftsman Guild. I don't mean age-wise, I mean that's been in it as long as anybody else. And the pigs on this book is what I've done. These are one of the pieces that I've done. And I'm going to show you over here some pigs that I have done. That these are not the pigs that are on the book, but these are some just like them because I made all of them too. So I'm pretty proud of my pigs and the books because they will be on this book for '93 and '94, and it's good advertising for me. This is a trout that I'm making, and once I got started working on it, I kind of wished I'd have made it into a catfish or something because all the scales on it. But anyway, I've almost finished it, and I hope that the people that I'm making for like it. This is one of my prized pieces up here too, the bull that I made. Out in Oklahoma they have Brahma bulls, so I kind of brought him to Mississippi too with me. So that's a line of cows. I got bulls and everything. Here are my bird flocks. By now I guess you know that I like birds because I've got so many of them here. Deer making now. I'm making a few deer. This is this is one of the does that I'm working on now. And what I do, I start out with a block of wood, and I lay me out a pattern on it, and I saw it out with a bandsaw. what I call block it out. And from there, after I block it out, I use a pocket knife, nothing but what some people call a pen knife. And that's the tool that I use, is a pocket knife to carve with. Over on the shelf over here are some of the deer that I made. And the forests that you see are made with willow. I make them out of willow limbs. The torch that you see here is piece. This particular piece is a piece from an old cedar tree that Piney Woods School started under back in 1909, and that tree blowed down. So I taken some of the pieces and made things for the school, and they gave for the donors. And these are a couple of pieces that I kept for myself. But that's the torch. The paper that they put out is called the pine torch. Even though that's cedar, it's still considered a torch. It's a pine torch. I've enjoyed you coming out and visiting me in the shop, and I hope that this, what I've shown and what you've seen, will be an inspiration to somebody else. I just love doing wood carving, and I hope that I can keep on. I hope the Lord will bless me with it. I can keep working. And people have said that I was good, but I don't believe it. I hope that I can keep getting better. I find something within each piece as I finish it. After I finish it, I found something that I could do that would make it look better or seem better anyway. So I'm not looking to be good. I'm just looking to keep carving. And thanks again for coming out. Hope that
I'd like to introduce you to Lucy Burnside, who's both a quilter and a weaver. She's from Clinton, Mississippi.
I'm Lucy Burnside, and I'm from Jackson, Mississippi. I've lived here most of my life. And I've been involved in several crafts, first in pottery, and then I became interested in quilting and have maintained interest in quilting, and at the same time as that, I've become interested in weaving as well. I got started in quilting because I've always liked doing sewing and various types of needlework, but I had seen quilts down at the flea market and places that people had done. And one day I was in a department store and looking at some books that were on sale, and I saw a book that said how to quilt, and so I bought it. And I started making my first quilt, which turned out to be sort of a disaster, because the material that I used for the top of it, you couldn't really quilt through it by hand, and so I wound up quilting it by machine. So so I learned in that sense from the first quilt that I did. And then I made several other quilts. One of them was the bicentennial quilt that I made in 1976. And the weaving, I guess I just saw, since I've always been interested in needlework and fabrics and textiles, I saw weaving at the Craftsman's Guild, and I became interested in trying to do that. And so I took several courses in weaving and learned how to do it, and have enjoyed it very much. A project that I took up not long ago was weaving tote bags. And some of these are, this one is made out of some material that's named papana, and you can brush it, and it's almost like velvet when you get through. This one is made out of strips of cotton material that I stripped myself, made in strips a ½ inch wide, and these are lined on the inside and have pockets, so they're very functional. And these other two are made out of rug yarn, heavier rug yarn, and I took some of the rug yarn and made an 8-plait braid on each one of those for the handles in the same colors as in the bag. And then on the dining room table there is a table runner that's in the chariot wheels pattern that I also wove on the loom. These are woven and then sewn on the machine to make the bags. Okay, my interest in weaving is weaving rugs, and so these rugs are woven out of cotton material for the weft, and they have rug warp for the warp in different colors. And this is in a block pattern. This one is in a similar block pattern, except with different spacing on it. Other rugs, this one is again made out of just cotton material that has been stripped, and then when it is woven it becomes compressed. These were originally strips that were about 2 inches wide. I also enjoy the old coverlet patterns and making runners, various things in coverlet patterns. This is one old coverlet pattern. This is in the chariot wheels pattern here. And this is a pillow made in the blooming leaf pattern. And I also have made, these are little mug mats that you can make on the loom, and very useful. On quilting, I think what I enjoy most now in quilting are the old quilts and their old patterns and the histories behind the old quilts, the women who made them. And I really don't make quilts anymore myself. I stopped. The last quilt that I made was around probably around 1982, because I became interested in old quilts after that and have concentrated more on the old Mississippi quilts. But I really enjoyed when I was quilting, doing a variety of patterns and investigating different patterns. But I also enjoyed doing the quilts that involved my mother's squares and my grandmother's squares, typed into the history. On the weaving, I haven't been doing weaving very long, maybe just about 3 years, and so I really haven't developed that as much as I hope to. But I enjoy doing different kinds of projects like the tote bags and the rugs and the table runners and the old coverlet patterns. And I've made woven pieces that I've made pillows out of. So I think probably I stick more to functional items, things that can be used or used around the house or whatever. Right, this is an old quilt frame that came out of the Hampton Lee family home in Emmett County, and the Hampton Lee house is still standing. It was built in 1859, and this quilt frame was used over many years. It's in somewhat fragile condition right now, but this is one of the quilts that was made by Alva Lee, who was born around 1893, I think. And you can see that the quilts were basted onto strips of material. There were originally strips of material nailed, you can see nails in here, that were nailed to these pieces of wood, and these round pieces turn, and so the quilts were rolled onto it, and then as the quilts were quilted, then they were rolled off of this beam and onto this one. And this is one of the quilts that was actually made on this frame. This is another one. This is just a random square pattern. This is a fancier quilt that we think was made by Alva Lee's mother, who was Dora Lee. And this is an older quilt that's in the spinning triangles pattern. It's quite a complex pattern. I ordered this loom from Oregon, and it's a J-made loom that's made out there. And it's a very large loom, but it's very sturdy for weaving rugs that I was interested in. These threads are called the warp, and you weave back and forth across the warp. The warp is wound onto this back beam, and this cardboard separates the layers of thread as they are wound around the back beam. You also, to determine your pattern, you have to thread the warp threads through these metal heddles. There's a little eye in the middle of each heddle, and they're also on different harnesses, and you raise and lower these harnesses with foot pedals, and that determines what your pattern will be. Then as we come up here, you can see that the threads are also threaded through the beater, and whenever you weave back and forth, you have to beat after each weaving of each thread in order to pack it into the part that has been woven before. As you weave, then there is a front beam here, and the part that you have woven gradually gets wound onto the front beam, and your warp threads are wound off of the back beam as you weave. The foot pedals down here determine, you have the harnesses tied to the foot pedals, and the way in which you pedal will also determine the pattern. So both the way they are threaded through the heddles and the way you raise and lower the pedals determine your pattern. loom was larger than my husband had realized it would be when it got here. And so to stabilize our living room floor, he had to have an extra, we're on a conventional foundation, and he had to have a beam run the length of the living room and dining room in order for it to be stable and handle the weight. Called a shuttle. When you press, this allows space for you to pass your shuttle through. And you position your thread here and beat and then change. And when you change, now some threads will come up and the others go down. You can then run through your stabilizing thread. Beat. And you just continue in this manner according to whatever your pattern is. I have enjoyed the old quilts particularly, and the weaving, and I probably won't quilt myself now, but I will continue to work with old quilts, particularly those from Mississippi, and will continue to learn in weaving.
We hope you've enjoyed this episode of Mississippi Memories. I'm Sydney Thaxton, and thank you for watching.